Crazy out here in these streets. We back. We back for the fourth time today. Okay. My bad. I mean to mess up nobody's ears. I just want to make sure the sound was right. All right, so we warmed it up. We warmed it up earlier, right? And we get ready to hopefully we going somewhere. Hopefully we're going somewhere. Hopefully we're gonna make some you see me? You just ordered them or you got them. That's two different things. Ordering them and getting them is two different things. You just ordered your books or they just dropped them off at your house. Ordering them is excitement. Dropping them off in your house is when it get crazy. It's time to go in the room, cut off electronics. I got playlists. I put on a playlist, let the music play in the background. All right, so let's deal with a few things, right? I want to start right off with this. Oh, you got the body language. You got that work over there. I want to start with this. I want to ask y'all questions like now we need to heat this thing up. Hold on, I'm looking for something. Where is this thing at? I want to ask y'all something. I want to know what y'all think this means. Why not blood clot this? Okay, here we go. Bam. What y'all think this mean right here? Talk to me about this. What this mean right here? Anybody? What does this mean right here? Or maybe y'all need to take a minute to check this out. I'm asking y'all too fast. Take a minute. What that mean to you? What mean the world to you? My. The food was cooking. Now we cooking now. You know what I'm talking about? Hopefully this morning we laid out some ideas. Right now, I want to cook. want to cook. What this mean right here? All right, let's do it like this. Let me ask y'all these questions. Let's make it way bigger. What is this right here? What is this right here? Anybody? Come on. Anybody but a dead body. Let's go. Wakey, wakey. Y'all should have had something to eat already. Listen, I know I done fed y'all some mental, some soul food this morning. Now y'all should have had something for the belly, right? Y'all should have had something for the belly. Whether it was vegan, non-vegan, cake, pie, cornbread. Y'all should have had something. What is this right here? Okay, somebody said metanetta. Okay. You all the way over here. You all the way over here. Right? This is the metanetta. Right? This is the metanetta over here. Right? Now, what we're looking at over here, this is biblical Hebrew. This is biblical Hebrew over here. Right? This is biblical Hebrew. Biblical Hebrew. This is first century. About first century, right? This is pre-biblical Hebrew here. All right, you know what? Let's take this down. Let's take that down. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's look at this. Let me see something. All right. All right, let's go on to this real quick. Let's look at this. What's this right here? Let's look at this real quick. Man, I'm not pulling up what I want to get. I'm not getting what I want to get. Here goes a perfect one. Here goes a good one right here. Okay. Let's look at this. I think this might help us a little bit better right here. Let's look at this one. No, this one is better. Look at this here. Look at this one right here. This is better right here. Look at that. Look at that. Arabic, Hebrew, Syriac, and Greek. What does that mean? What does this mean right here? Listen, they got us shadow banned right now. Listen, they got us shadow banned right now. They did not appreciate. They did not appreciate the last few minutes of the live stream and shut our shit down. Hey, they shut that shit right down. So y'all gotta hit the live button. I mean, hit the like. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all gotta do what y'all can to get this. You know, hit the like a few times. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what to do. What is that right there? I want y'all to dig into this. How many different languages is this? How many different languages is that? Okay. That's the Bible and the Quran right there, ain't it? That's the Bible and the Quran right there. Right? Look at that. Look at the Hebrew and the Greek right there. Okay, now the Bible is written in what language? Right? You got two parts of the Bible. Okay. Okay. Now, the oldest actual copy of the Bible, though, is the oldest copy of the Bible written in Greek or Hebrew? Are we talking about this part? We're gonna leave this alone for now. We're gonna leave that where that's at. The Old Testament. We're talking about the Torah, the Old Testament, Hebrew, right? The oldest copy of the Old Testament, is that written in Hebrew or is that written in Greek? The oldest copy of the Bible. Okay, we got a couple of different answers. Semitic is not an answer. Yeah, he tried it. Yo, he tried it. No, yeah, that's a group. See that's a cheat. He says Semitic. So technically, no matter what answer we put, he got the right answer. No, you can't put no. That's you tried it. There we go. Okay, hold up, Drose. You on something? Drose on something. Drose is on something though. Hold on now. We can't go past Drose. Drose on something. Right? So the Septuagint is the oldest copy of the Bible. Right? So just to resolve this, right? Just to resolve this before we go further, right? The Septuagint is the oldest, right? Later on, the Masoretic text came out, the Hebrew version, but the Septuagint is first. Now, here's the thing. The Bible was written in Greek by Hebrew speaking. You see where we're going? So Hebrew speaking people wrote the Bible in Greek for the Greeks. Yeah, of course. You was on something. Yeah, you was on something. Well, hold on, Drose. Hold on, Drose. Wait a minute now. Listen. Who's to say that we don't have it? Who's to say that we don't have it? Because that's the thing that we get ready to look at. That's why I'm saying we got to deal with this Greco-Roman invasion. We got to deal with that. That's a real thing that we really need to deal with in real time. Right? And the Bible got some stuff in there that we could, you know what I'm saying? We need to look into some of these things that's in there. Right? There's some stuff that's in there now. Yeah, come on now. You're pulling it out. See, I really ain't got to do much. I really could just operate this chat room. I really could just, I love my chat room. My chat room, I have the smartest people on earth in my chat room. See, I could just operate this chat room like a DJ. Like, yo, I could just throw something out there. I could just throw something out there and let y'all go crazy. Right? Well, some people say 70. Some people say 72. I'm more apt to follow the 72 version. But 70 is cool. I don't debate it. 70, 72. It's just when you line it up, 70, 72. 72 is more in line with a lot of the rest of it. It could have been 70. It could have been 40. You know what I'm saying? It could have been 50, but we roll with 70. Right? So here's where I'm going though. So now let's look at these letters again. So we got this, the Greek and the Hebrew. We got this. We on that. We got that. Okay. So let's go back to this now. Is this you over here? Let me see. Is this you over here? Okay, now we go back over here to this guy. Go back. What are these things called? What is these called? These are pictures. Wait a minute. So, okay, so if we go, all right, hold on now. It's getting ready to start making some sense now. If we go over here and we see the Arabic, the Hebrew, the Syriac, and the Greek, right? Relatively all the same. Relatively all the same. We go over here. And we see what the roots of this thing look like, right? And we see what the roots look like. Right? I mean, we can't really deny what we're looking at. So when we go into the text, what does this mean? When we go into the text, what does this mean? What does this mean? Listen, I'm out here. I'm out here. I get the text. People DMing me. I see what's happening out here. I know what's going on online. I see all the satanic, I see all of the Satan, I see all of the crazy stuff going on all the pages, right? So we got to get to the roots of some of these things to help clear up confusion. This is big time causing confusion. And I know where the confusion started. I know where the confusion started. But see, I'm not in the Israelite versus Kemet. I'm not in that fight. I'm in the fight for the truth. I'm in the fight for the truth. And when I look at this, let me tell you what this means to me. Watch this. Let me show you what this means to me. This to me means that we've been tricked, right? When I see this, the only thing I hear in my ear is Malcolm X. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled. Plymouth Rock didn't land on Ohio. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. That's what I see when I see this. Everybody got different eyes. We all see and hear with our minds. So when we look at that, we might see something different. What I see might be different. So the Hebrew comes from the metal nature. What does this mean? Wait, what? He said Elohim with the rhyme scheme, and when the lyrics leave them out, they look like light beams. Yo, it's up. Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, the true God. That's a fact. But we got to get back to that information. Peace doesn't come from cowardice or like in the world today, the way we do peace is like one group violently overpowers the other group, and then the other group kind of stays in their place because they don't want no trouble. That's peace. But that's not real peace. You know what I'm saying? Real peace is when there's no need for an oppressive, like it just is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Real peace comes from equal opportunity and potential and understanding and knowledge. And in that kind of space, you can have brotherly love and, right? Kemet to Phoenician to Greek to Roman. No. But here's what I'm saying. What does this mean right here? Because this is what starts the problem. This is where the problem started immediately. Because now you got a whole bunch of people online saying that God is the devil and this one and that one. And this is not really, this doesn't mean God because this is a group of gods. So this was lesser gods, and the lesser gods report to the main God. And bro, I have seen some answers to this question by some people that I may not I'm gonna say I respect their scholarship. Some people that I respect their scholarship, I done seen some wild answers to this question. Okay. So, all right. So let's go L. Right. And then we'll go, I guess we're going to go with this is plural, right? So, we might need some dates. Let's get some dates. Let's get some dates. Anybody got a date on the Septuagint? Does anybody have a date on the Septuagint? We might need some dates. I think we're gonna need some dates. Drose, you and Zy the Great, right? You and Zy the Great. Y'all got you and Brian, with Brian, where y'all at? Where the dates at? What's the date on the Septuagint? Third, first century BC. Well, that's what I got. But I wanted like a date, like 270 BC, 150, 220. But let's roll with it. Let's just say 3rd century BCE. Let's just go back as far as possible, right? Let's just throw some things in place. Okay. So now we know. Now we know something. Now we know something, right? So this is Greek. This is Greek, and we're gonna put this over here, save some space. We're gonna go Greek, Hebrew, we're just going to keep that over there on the side. Now remember, I'm a Bible person, so I want to bring people to the Bible. I want to bring y'all to study Jesus and Moses and Genesis and Exodus and make your own decisions about Paul, because I was on the fence about Paul for a long time. Right? But right? So I'm just saying, I don't believe as a Black man in 2024 that I have to choose. I don't believe as a person, period. You know what I'm saying? Black, white, yellow, red. I don't believe that I have to choose. I think that's a trick that I got to choose, right? That if I'm pro-Bible, that automatically means that anybody down with Kemet is the ops. I don't believe that. I don't believe that if I'm pro-Kemet, all of a sudden, I have to like use biblical slurs. Right? But we're going to try to just be as information based as possible, right? So if we look at the languages, right? If we look at the languages, we know that the languages say that the origin of those languages is in the Medu Neter, right? That presents a problem of its own. That presents a problem, right? Because the Medu Neter literally is the words of the gods. So listen, I've been studying the Hebrew for a long time. When people first see me on 125th, before there was a YouTube, I was arguing with folks. I was at 125th, 1 West, I think it was. I was in there for a couple of classes. I didn't stay long because I went in there strictly to join up because I wanted to learn more about the Hebrew language. When I got in there, they was like Ken, and they had like 4 or 5 words that they was using, and that was it. And when I pressed the issue about it, they was like, well, we use the King James version of the Bible and something else. And basically they wasn't into that. So I wasn't into joining. I was like, this don't look real, this don't look real to me. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? I'm not attacking anybody. This is years ago. So, I respect their religious, I respect everybody's thing right now. I'm just saying back then, this is the 90s. This is in the 90s I'm talking about. Right? Back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, y'all frauding. How y'all not studying the language? The language is where all the magic is at. Right? So I'm just saying, I've been engaging in the Hebrew language study for a long time. Not to like become fluent, even though I did spend a few years where I was learning the language to be able to speak the language. You know what I'm saying? I just gave that up because I don't know. Y'all see me? How much times am I really gonna be in a place where I actually get to use that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just fell out of study with it. You know what I'm saying? But I enjoyed the study while I was doing it. I learned a lot. Same with French, same with Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Same with Italian. I like studying languages sometimes. I'll get in a language space. But I think that studying languages, I know for a fact it helps you regrow your brain cells. So you need to do it just for that alone, even if you never learn to speak a language. But it helps you to learn a lot about the culture, right? It helps you to learn a lot about the culture. Yeah, sometimes you have to go into some places to retrieve some knowledge just so you can have personal clarity, right? Just so you can have personal clarity. So there's that. There's that. Elephant in the room. It's hard to get past this, right? Let's look at this again. I want to be careful. I don't want people to be upset with me. It's the holidays, right? Or at least not my people. When I start to, start trouble, then, I'll be expecting it. But right now, I don't want y'all to be mad with me. I just had y'all feast, or y'all over there licking y'all lips waiting to have it. So I don't want y'all to be getting upset with me. Right? Can we see more of this thing at once? Let me see. Did all of that come up? Oh, bam! That's beautiful. I didn't think I could get all of that on the screen at one time. So, yeah, hey, listen, I'm glad you said it and not me. I'm glad you said it and not me. I don't make light of it. I don't make light of it. I'm just saying. So, here's the thing. %99 of what I see on the internet is people coming up with ideas for this that are not Hebraic and they're not Egyptian. They don't have anything to do with the Medu Neter or the Hebrew. They don't even have anything to do with the Greek. People coming up with Baal and Moloch, and I'm looking on at these conversations. I'm like, what? Where they get? How they? Where you pull that from? Yeah, because Yahweh was eating babies, and I'm like, wait, what? Ho, y'all watching Billy Carson and David Icke, and y'all what? I'm like, those ain't Rolex diamonds. What you done to that? I'm like, how you? If we're gonna move anywhere, the languages give us a direction. The languages give us a direction. If we're going to go anywhere from the Hebrew, we have to go back to Egypt, right? We have to go back to Egypt, right? So let's do it like this. Okay. You know what? Let me just pull this thing up. Hold on. I swear I want to be as careful as possible. Okay. All right. Why is it not coming? Oh, because I got to rip it off of here. All right, bam. Okay, so look at this here. All right. Matter of fact, let's do. So I know people is doing this, so I want to see if it changes. No, it looks the same. We're looking at this right here. We right there with it. Okay, we ain't going nowhere. We right there with it. Matter of fact. Okay. Now my Hebrew is super rusty. Yo, my Hebrew is super rusty. So I'm not even going to try to get into no Bereshit. I'm not even going to do it. But this is the word that we're looking at right here. Okay? So even when we come here, right? Even when we get the Hebrew version, right? The very first line is still the very first line. Okay? All right? So I'm trying to be as fair as possible with what we're looking at here. Okay? So we're looking at the ESV, right? We're looking at King James Version. Right? In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And in those versions, in all English versions, they change the Elohim, right, to a singular. And that right there, oh, my bad. Right? So in all of the translations, they translate Elohim, which is clearly a plural, into a singular. And that right there has started unlimited amounts of controversy. Right? Unlimited amounts of controversy. Right? So far, let's recap what we discussed before we go any further. Because I know for sure, I could smell it, I could feel it. Somebody's getting ready to be upset with me. So let's just recap what we got so far. Let's just recap what we got so far, right? So far, we looked at the Arabic language, the Hebrew language, the Syriac language, the Greek language. We see the similarities between them. When we compare, and we could have put the Aramaic language in there because we know Aramaic people is different than Hebrew people, but they got the similar. So here, let me say this before we go any further about languages. So here's one of the problems with looking at some of these languages. Sometimes we're looking at a script that multiple different languages use, and then sometimes we're looking at a language. Like when we look at the numbers, right? The Arabic numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like the way we write our numbers, that's Arabic. Those are Arabic numerals. But there's a bunch of different languages that use the Arabic numerals, but it doesn't mean we speak Arabic, right? Just because I write like this, 1, 2, 3, right? This is Arabic. This is Arabic. But because I use these characters, right? Because I use these characters doesn't mean that I speak Arabic, right? This is a script now that's used widely across the globe. Different groups of people with different languages have adopted this into their script. So there's lots of stuff like that in the language world, right? I'm just using these numbers as an example, right? But there's lots of stuff like that. So that's one of the things that causes confusion, right? So we see the Arabic, the Hebrew, the Syriac, the Greek. We know none of them are as old as the Medu Neter, and we see where they have borrowed or directly are offshoots from the Medu Neter, right? We see the dates on those. We know now, if you don't know, some people that are watching may have not known. Some people that are just tuning in now, you know now, right? Septuagint comes before a Hebrew version of the Bible, but they were Hebrew authors, right? So, what language were those authors speaking? Come on. We're going to take our time with it and just, be as let's think Rosetta Stone. Let's think Rosetta Stone for a second. Rosetta Stone is how the Medu Neter was deciphered, right? How and why did that happen? Because the Rosetta Stone had multiple languages on it, correct? Come on. The Rosetta Stone had multiple languages on it, right? Let's look up the Rosetta Stone. So we could be all wise, right, and exact with these folks here. Come on now. Let's look at this because it's crazy out there. Okay, so the Ptolemaic dynasty. Right? This is the Greek royal house that ruled in ancient Egypt. Right? This is the listen, the Ptolemaic people, the Ptolemaic family is the ones that commissioned, we'll say it like that, commissioned the writing of the Bible. The Ptolemaic folks executive produced. Listen, the Ptolemaic folks executive produced the Bible. So this is an important time period. If we want to understand and get a resolution going between the confusion in the Bible and the confusion outside the Bible. When I say in the Bible, I mean all of the different groups of Christians, Catholics, Baptists, Seventh-day Adventists, Hebrew Israelites, Israelites that are not Hebrew Israelites, Jewish folks, just all of the above. Right? So they find the stone which was carved during the Hellenistic period, right? And what did it have on there? It had 3 inscriptions. Here we go. Come on now. You see, when I be saying certain stuff about these numbers, y'all be thinking I be tripping. Look at all these numbers. Look at all these numbers. All right. The Rosetta Stone is a fragment of a larger stele. No additional fragments were found in later searches of the Rosetta site. Owing to its damaged state, none of the 3 texts is complete. The top register is composed of Egyptian hieroglyphs. It suffered the most damage. Only the last 14 lines of the hieroglyphic text can be seen. All of them are broken on the right side and 12 of them on the left. Below it in the middle register is Demotic text, which survived best. It has 32 lines, of which the first 14 are slightly damaged on the right side. The bottom register of Greek text contains 54 lines, of which the first 27 survive in full. The rest are increasingly fragmentary due to a diagonal break at the bottom of the right side of the stone. Right? So this is the stone right here. All right, so up here you see the hieroglyphs. Then you see the script, which is basically a translation of the hieroglyphs, Well, technically, all three of these is the same thing. So technically, it's all translations. But what I'm saying is the script was used because everybody wasn't privy to the hieroglyphs. Right? Everybody wasn't privy to the hieroglyphs. So you had the script, and then at the bottom you got the Greek, because the Greek people they all couldn't really they didn't really speak the language. Right? They didn't speak the language, so they needed scribes to break it down for them at the time. Right? But at the time, right, this is the language, right? This is the language. Listen. I just want y'all to come to these realizations on your own. I'm just going to kind of guide you and push you along a little bit. I want to just guide you and push you along a little bit. This is going to be troublesome once this leaves our page. Once this starts to leave our page, this is troublesome. But so while we here in the locker room together, we sharing as a family and it's a holiday and we all together, I want y'all to just take this in, because once this leave here, this is going to get nuts, right? So the Ptolemaic period, which is the period where the Septuagint is written, is also the same period of the Rosetta Stone. See, the problem is we got a lot of Egyptologists running around and they want to keep people dumb. This is why I have no problem proclaiming that I love the Bible and Kemet. Because, see, I know what I'm showing y'all right now. And what I'm showing y'all cannot be debunked. I want y'all to get this. We see what languages are used. We see the popular languages. The popular languages. You're in America, right? In America, it's a whole lot of languages spoken, just like back in Egypt. It's a whole lot of languages spoken, right? But this is America. So almost everybody in America speaks what? American. Oh yeah, you might speak your own stuff wherever you come from, and you got a few people, and y'all probably got a neighborhood where y'all click up and y'all doing that. But it's America. Most people in America speak American. The reason why they needed the hieroglyphs and the Demotic script and the Greek is because the Greeks was in charge, and the Greeks, they didn't speak the native tongue. I know it's going to take a little while. I know it's dawning on folks already. It's happening, but I know some of y'all resistant. Like, hold up, Inky, what you saying though? Like, it's like you have an allergic reaction to this right now. It's all right. I know you're gonna have to breathe through it. Okay, so the Rosetta Stone from the Ptolemaic period, the people were speaking that Coptic. What is the Coptic? What is that? The Coptic is the metal netter. It's the Coptic. All right, let's just look at this other thing again. Oh, look at Saab. Saab be hitting you up, but Saab be hitting you up, but you seem to be preoccupied with JJ over there. Sal, you got JJ over there going crazy, bro. That's crazy what you got going on with JJ. Seriously. I don't know how you managed to do that with JJ, bro. JJ look wild over there. But now I'm gonna come over there. I'll be over there shortly. We can set it up for like maybe. So we were supposed to do something last Sunday, huh? We were supposed to do something last Sunday, but maybe this Sunday we do something, or Sunday or Monday. Sunday or Monday. Maybe Monday once the children go back to school. Yeah. Bro, you brainwashed JJ. You talking about I converted JJ. Yeah, that's crazy. Listen. So hold up. I want y'all to just pay attention because I want y'all to get this. We taking our time with this because I don't want nobody to. The Ptolemaic period is the Rosetta Stone and the Bible. Okay, both of those things is commissioned by the Ptolemies. Ptolemy the first, Ptolemy the second. You know how they do back then. You go first, second, third, fourth till somebody get killed, and then that's the end of the program. Right? But the Ptolemies, these represent the people who took over Egypt, right? Quote unquote. That's where we at for now. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at for now. I'm gonna just leave that there. But they took over Egypt. They didn't really take it over. It really got handed over to them because we had beef. We had bigger ops. We had the Persians. You know what I'm saying? And we was at war with the Persians, and we were just looking for anybody to help us. And that's kind of the situation we're in today, right? We be looking for folks to come in and help us, and we got to tap back into that Elijah Muhammad program, right? Do for self. That's how the Greeks got in. They didn't come in guns blazing like they be showing in the movie. Alexander the Great came in and did his thing and woo, woo, woo. That's not what happened. We was looking for backup. We thought that we was going to pay these folks and break some bread with these folks, and they was going to come hold it down with us. But they was on the Kanye program. Remember Kanye on his first album? He said, niggas thought I was making a compilation. I was really making myself their competition, right? He said the other artists thought I wanted to do songs with them, but really I was battling them on each song, right? That's what the Greeks did. The Greeks came in, was like, oh, y'all need help? Cool. We're going to help you out. And they looked, and while they were supposed to be helping us out, they was really mapping out all of our weaknesses. It was like, yeah, we're going to strengthen it up. We're going to strengthen it up. We're going to put our guards right here and right there to make sure we're strengthening you up. Now we're going to strengthen you up. And we put our guards right there, right there, right there, right there. And before you know it, the Greeks had security. Look, the Greeks had soldiers at all of our weak points. And soldiers at the headquarters, they was like, listen, go on ahead and lay it down. We don't even want to look out the window. This all ours now. I don't know if y'all just noticed. Just relax, take it easy. Just take it easy. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody catch you slipping, you got your jury on, you done had a few drinks, and guns is drawn on you before you even know what happened. They're like, look, just come on up out the jury. We don't want nothing to happen to you. Just take the jury off and relax. Just relax. We already got you now. Just relax. That's how the Greeks did us. That's how the Greeks did us. Listen, we already got this thing here. Just come on up out your robe, man. Come on about the sandals. Come on about them sandals. Yeah, that's us right there. And as we was taking stuff off, they was putting it on. They was putting it right on. Like, yeah, this is us now. So This time period is where we get this and this. So now, let's take a look over here. Let's just take a look back over at this. Let's take a look back over here at this, right? Both of these things says one thing. Both of these things says one thing. The Hebrew comes out of the Medu Neter, right? The Hebrew comes out of the Medu Neter. The Medu Neter is the language of the gods. Okay? Now, what does this mean? Now that we went through all that, so we could go back here, right? So we can go back here. We went through all that so we could gently, because I am not against the Bible. If I show y'all my Bible right now, y'all will see my Bible is towed up. But I'm one of them people that put sentimental value on it. So I'm not going to get another one. That's it right there. That's the one. I got bookmarks in it. You know what I'm saying? The spine is ripped out, but the top still look kind of clean though. Like how my man Mike Epps said, they 19s, but I keep them clean though. You know what I'm saying? Like I keep it clean though. You know what I'm saying? I keep my Bible clean though. Right? So we went to 3 different versions of the Bible, right? We went to the King James, we went to the ESV, and we went to a version of the Masoretic, right? With the Hebrew, with the English right next to it. The Hebrew here, English right next to it. And the very first line, where the Elohim is at, it says the Elohim created the heavens and the earth, right? Heaven and the earth. Okay. So now, if we establish that the language that the authors had to use, the pre-Hebrew is, come on, I ain't gonna say it. The pre-Hebrew is the what? Y'all gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. Y'all gonna say it. That way y'all can't get that mad with me today, right? It's Thanksgiving. Y'all getting ready to have vegan turkey and vegan mac and cheese, and y'all gonna have vegan alcohol. Vegan alcohol? I don't know. I'm pushing my luck, right? So the Elohim created the heavens and the earth. Okay. So now, because there's an older Torah that's supposed to exist that's not supposed to exist anymore, right? I'm saying it might still exist, but the problem is we probably looking for it in the wrong place. We probably looking for it in the wrong place. That's all I'm saying. We might be looking for it in the wrong place. So matter of fact, I'm gonna ask y'all permission. Do I have y'all permission to write some more stuff on the board? Do I have y'all permission to write some more stuff? Look.
The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now to save us, to save our souls.
All right. Peace to the family. We getting ready to start up a video. Yeah, we getting ready to start up a video right now. Like, as in right now. This is the beginning of this video. So anything that happened before now, don't ask me about, because I'm telling you, I don't know what you're talking about. Anything that happened before this moment right now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know what you're talking about. That's all I'm going to say right there. Okay? I'm going to just say, anything that happened before now, I don't know what you're talking about. Gold book. That's what I'm going to say. Gold book. Right? Gold book. The gold book is the gold book for a reason. If you don't have the gold book, you need to go get the gold book. All right. So, no, the gold book been out. The gold book been out. Even though I did write more, but the gold book been out. This ain't a new book. Yeah, these books been around. This what we in today so far. We in these books. Yeah, these two right here is part 1 and part 2. Wait. These books is part 1 and part 2. The Horus and Set transaction and the Goat book. I was still trying to, well, I'm still learning, but I was a lot more in the dark. And so I wrote one book and it was too big to print on Amazon. I didn't know that there was a limit of pages. So I cut it, like just cut it. If I knew what I knew now then, I would have balanced the book more. But these books go together. Part 1 and part 2. And this is kind of where we at today. Right? So hopefully we good on any of those ideas. Right? Hopefully we good on any of those ideas. Right? So now darkness, we're gonna walk through this. We literally gonna walk through this joint. Just so we can have this on the record books. Right? We're gonna walk through it. Right? So darkness was on the face of the deep. And God did what? Hovered above the face of the waters. God hovered over the face of the waters. Right? The earth was unformed and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. All right. So we already got a good working definition for God, at least for how we do things. Right? We need a name. Right? We need a name for our ministry. I don't know if melanin versus diabetes. We gotta come up with something. Right? But we more focused on the substance than the. But so the Bible tells us that God is light. Wow. Mark is that bad already? Oh no, this is not the right one. Okay. Right? God is light and sound. Right? The Bible tells us God is light and sound. Right? And we know that light, right, is electromagnetic waves. And we know sound is mechanical waves. Okay? So we going, listen, we going like this. Look, the gear, we're going to hit the gear shift. Y'all know how we do, right? This morning we was taking things easy, lay some framework. Osiris, weighing in the heart ceremony. Boo, boo, boo. Now we getting ready to. Right? What's the last 2 books that we release? The last 2 books that we release is The Electrician's Radio Anatomy, and what else? The Observer Effect book, right? The Electrician's Prayer Manual is the Observer Effect book, right? I want y'all to get y'all science mind on. Listen, we took it easy this morning, but this is our religion. This is our religion right here. We having a sermon right here, right? That's why, you know, for the last 15, 20 years, people been asking me, what is my exact religion? And I'm like, well, I'm a unique kind of Israelite, Nazarene, Kemetic, I got, I'm just, so this is my belief system. And by proxy, since y'all follow me, this y'all belief system. Right? So the Bible tells us that God is light and sound, right? We got a bunch of passages in the Bible where it says God is light. We also have some passages where it says God is the Word, and the Word was with God because the Word was God. So God is the Word, right? Mechanical waves. God is also light, which is electromagnetic waves, right? Two, right? Both, right? And if we just classify, right, it's one, right? Waves, right? Now, science tells us we live in a world of duality, right? Same thing that they told us in Kemet, then people with that other language, that other like that other language, right? And that exists waves and particles. Waves and particles. That's why they shut the other video down. Because we was getting ready to go. We was getting ready to switch gears. And then as soon as we get ready to switch, right? Because I told you they're putting them images in your mind. Right? They're putting them images in your mind. Right? So we're going to deal with the science, right? And we're going to walk through the creation. So I'm going to show you how there's nothing wrong with the creation. So people are talking about, oh, this and this and that. We're going to walk it through the 7 days, or really the 6 days. We're going to walk it through, right? So God is light, sound, electromagnetic, mechanical, waves and particles, duality. Now, remember, we got a book out. It's called The Observer Effect, the Electrician's Prayer Manual, right? The Electrician's Prayer Manual is The Observer Effect. You got to go get that book. It's on Amazon now, right? Go get that book, right? Because observance, right? Observance, listen, as I want y'all to get this. So we're going to take our time with it. We're going to take our time with it. I only want y'all to take a break to go hit the Cash App. Go hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. And then don't take a break for nothing else. If you're going to eat, tell somebody to bring you your food so you can eat in front of the computer. Matter of fact, tell them to also put this on in the kitchen. Tell them to take their phone and put this on in the kitchen. Turn off basketball and football and put this here. Tell them to put this on too. What do you supposed to do in religion? Right? What is it called when you follow all the rules? In your religion, Muslim, Christian, Israelite, GSM, PUK, ISUPK, Catholic, Seventh-day Adventist, Buddhist, what is it that you do in your religion? When you follow the rules, what is that called? What is that called when you follow the rules of your religion? Come on now. Observance. Look, I done already said too much. Y'all don't even need me to say nothing else. I done already said too much. Y'all don't need me to say nothing else. Listen, I'm telling you, that book, I'm telling you, that Bible is something else. Y'all don't even know what that book is something else. That book is something else. I'm telling you now, that book is something else. If you don't have a Bible, you need to have one of them. That's the master. You need to have one of them for sure. Like, you need to start flipping through that, getting familiar. You need to start. It's observance. You have to observe the laws of the Torah, right? You have to observe the negative, the 42 negative confessions. And not only are you supposed to observe the negative confessions, you're supposed to know the God that's associated with each one of the negative confessions, and you're supposed to know where they live at. You're supposed to know where they live at, what city they from. Like, they the ops, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have to pull up on them, you know what I'm saying? Or they might pull up on you, you know what I'm saying? So you got to know the 42 negative confessions. You got to know which God is associated with which negative confession and where they from. Yeah, you gotta know where they from. Because it's practice. It's practice. It's practice. That's the thing. That might be the big difference. Right? So with the negative confessions, you're practicing for death. Death is important. Death is an important thing. So you're practicing for death. Every day, you're practicing for that moment, for that weighing of the heart ceremony moment. You're practicing. Remember, we went through the weighing of the heart ceremony this morning. Every day, you're supposed to be practicing, getting ready. I haven't, smashed my homie wife. I ain't steal nothing. I ain't killed nothing. I didn't pay nobody to kill nothing. Like, you're supposed to be going through, the whole program. I ain't instigate no beef. I ain't start no drama. Like that, yeah. You're supposed to be going through it every day. Practicing, getting ready, right? But regardless to what you are into, when you are faithful in your practice of whatever your religion is, it's called observance. See, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all something about Greece. We invented all the science back then, and Greece took it, flipped it, bounced it. They just grabbed the IP, put their name on it, put that thing out there. What they didn't put in the religion, they put in science. The most highly researched cell type is 3 cells that's researched. The most highly researched, 4 now. 4 now, right? 4 now. Well, really, it's still 3. Technically, it's always going to be a big 3. It's always going to be a big 3, right? We back to that big 3 convo. I don't care what y'all say. Kendrick and J. Cole is not in my big 3. Respectfully, right? But it's always going to be a big 3. Neurons and melanocytes is always in the top 3. And what do neurons and melanocytes have in common? Melanin. And what do we have back then? We had the perfect black, right? And what did that turn into in science? In the Greek, the perfect is you, right? And then the black is melanos. So it just changed from Osiris to you melanin. That's it. So we got to realize that when we go back before the Septuagint, there's no split between science and religion. It's one thing. So the problem with today, y'all see what I did to Reggie? The problem today is that the people trying to be religious researchers do not study science. So they can only go but so far. There's a limit they're going to bump into because at a certain point, you need some other information that you're going to be missing. You're going to be missing the science half. And it was a beautiful split because they made people believe in order for you to be a scientist, you needed to be atheist. They made people believe in order for you to believe in God, you had to be anti-science. So guess what? Everybody will be dumb forever. This is the classic version of in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. The two-eyed man is a target. Because the one-eyed man is keeping everybody else dumb. We're going to have half the people believing in science, and they're not going to be religious. Because they're going to be anti-religion because we're going to tell them that religion is anti-science. Boom. And we're going to have half the people religious, but we're going to have them dumb because we're going to have them believing that religion is science anti-religion, so you're going to be dumb. I'm showing you a whole nother look in the biblical world, right? So now we have the double slit experiment. The double slit experiment. Now, the crazy thing is you getting all this science from the guy with the gold teeth from 158th Street in the Bronx. That's the real kicker. It's supposed to be somebody with a button-down shirt and a sports coat on telling you he got a PhD from, I got a PhD and an MHD and an MST and a BS. I got a certificate of BS. I got 2 bachelor's degrees in religiosity, and I got a PhD in scientific quantification and theological masturbation. So look, so we got the double slit experiment. The double slit experiment tells us this is what our world is. Waves and particles, duality. Same thing they told us in Kemet, which is why all of the gods came in pairs, right? Shu, Tefnut, Geb, Nut. Oh, wait, stop. You can't do that. You skipped one. Atum didn't come in a pair. Atum is self-created. Kind of, sort of. The jury is out on that. That's debatable. If you watch battle rap, you know what a debatable is. Like if you just saw that Hitman Holla versus Geechee, right? That was a debatable. That depends on style, how you like the style. Hitman got the last round because it was unexpected. Geechee got the first one because it was unexpected. That second round is like, I don't know, right? It's debatable because Atum is self-created, but Atum is self-created from Noon, which is the cosmic waters, right? But I personally can make an argument that the cosmic waters is a woman, right? See, we just put out the book. Then we put out the book, Let There Be Music. Y'all got to get these books. And we talk about how the heart influences the sperm. And we went through the whole thing of conception and how conception work, how the sperm get to the egg and the egg release the light and blah, 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 blah. Well, that sperm in those chaotic waters, I'm just saying. So technically, There's an argument to be made. Atum and Nun is also a pair. Because technically, Atum emerges from the waters, right? But we don't really have a backstory on the waters. It's like we're just starting our story right there, right? So technically, I'm going to roll with pairs. Nun and Atum, Shu, Tefnut, Hoop, Boop, Boop, Osiris, right? Just saying. I can put up an argument against the best of them that says Atum, sperm, as above, so below. There's always a template in nature. That's how nature works. Everything on the cosmic level, you should see on the earthly level, in the kingdom of heaven as on the earth, right? And then also we should be able to see it on a microscopic, quantum, or biological level. We should be able to see everything on 3 different layers, right? So, waves and particles, you observe the waves of potential, pure potential, and collapse the waves into particles, right? Now, we done went through the neurochemistry. We just released the book, Speak It Into Existence, right? We have the other book, You Got Some Nerves, right? You Got Some Nerve, where we went through in detail right? We went through the nerves in detail because that's what your neurons do, right? It starts with chemiluminescence, right? Charged ions moving around, right? Charged ions moving around, changing the electrical gradient in the brain of the cell, creates the electromagnetic wave down the axon. That wave is collapsed into particles we call neurotransmitters. Like literally, you're collapsing waves of potential into particles all the time. That's literally what you do all the time, right? You're a wave collapsing machine, right? That's what you do, all right? So hopefully I'm making sense. Hopefully we moving because we're going to go through this Genesis thing, right? We're going to go through this Genesis thing. So the Spirit of God moved over the waters, right? Notice that God is usually coupling light and sound together. You might not see it though, but it's there, right? The Spirit refers to light, movement refers to sound, right? The Spirit of God moved, right? That's always because movement generates sound, right? Mechanical waves have to have a medium, right? So anytime there's sound, there's vibration. Anytime there's vibration, there's sound. If there's nothing moving, then there's silence, right? Which is the difference between electromagnetic waves and mechanical waves. Electromagnetic waves don't need a medium. Remember that. All right. So we got the Spirit of God moved over the darkness, right? And of course, there's darkness. Why is there darkness? Why is there darkness? There's darkness because guess what? There's no pigment yet. There's no pigment yet. There's no eyes. There are no pigments. Right? There's no pigments. Right? So that's the concept that we have to understand. We live in a sea of light, right? We live in a sea of light. There's always light. We just have to have pigment or receptors to interpret that light, right? That process of interpreting is collapsing waves, right? Just let that stay there for a while. All right. So moved over the face of the waters, right? So in order for life to happen, there needs to be structured water, right? Structured water absolutely has a face. We talked about that earlier. And we talked about how Masaru Emoto made $1 million off of the faces of water, showing that your emotions, your prayer can change the structure of water, right? You just watched Gerald Pollack. Gerald Pollack made $1 million telling you that light structures water, particularly infrared, right? So it's on the first day, and we got structured water, right? We got water with light and sound going into it, right? What else we got here? All right. Once we have structured water, we're going to do it like that. Even though that's not exactly what it would look like. You would have a whole bunch of these, right? You would have a whole bunch of these inside there, right? Because you go from H2O, H2O2, H2O3, right? This is the difference between the regular water, right? Regular. This is that Reggie. H2O is Reggie, right? Then you got peroxide, right? And then you got living water, right? Then you got living water. So day one, living water, right? Day one, you got living water. Now you can start to get you some fish, some people, some birds, right? But we have to create cells, right? So the creation is not about people per se, right? It's about creating cells. It's about creating cells. You have to make cells before you can make animals. You don't have animals, people, birds, or none of that without cells, right? And this is in alignment with what science says. Science says the same thing. Science says before this planet had any type of complex life on it, it had single cells, right? Single cells. Bible says the same thing. Okay, so we need to get structured water, right? And God said, let there be light, and there was light, and God saw the light, and it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness and called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and there was evening, and there was morning, and one day. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. All right, I think this is all pretty easy here. But I want to add some details in. When God creates the heavens and the earth, right? This is the earth. That's like the atmosphere, the ionosphere, and all that with the clouds and the thunder and boo, boo, boo. And then you have this guy out here, right? This is the star of the show. Without this and this could not exist. Without this and this could not exist, right? This is your magnetosphere. Or you could say your plasma bubble, right? So inside here, it's dark. Inside here is dark. I probably should have did this before I did the cells and the structured water part. It's all right. It's on video. Just rewind it, bring it back. You'll have it though. Now that you get these in your mind, as you read through the Bible, you'll be able to go, oh, that makes sense. Because before we can start any cells, we not only need an atmosphere, but we need a magnetosphere, because the magnetosphere, A, protects the atmosphere and the planet, but B, more importantly, the magnetosphere is attached to the sun. This is the sun. Yo, my artistry is terrible. But this is the sun, right? And the sun ejaculates. This is how you see the God men, and the God men has a phallus, and they're like, oh, look, that's gay. The sun ejaculates plasma, and to this day, it's like an umbilical cord to the planet, right? We get charged particles that feed our atmosphere. So that way we get a charge gradient, right? We get a charge gradient, which creates the thunder and the lightning. The lightning and the thunder is what creates the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance helps to create your brain waves, right? The lightning breaks up the oxygen and the nitrogen in the air. In turn, that fertilizes the ground so plants grow without help, right? So this is important. We just leave it at important, right? So this feeds the atmosphere electricity. So we have lightning and weather and all that good stuff. And then also it strengthens the magnetosphere so stuff doesn't kill us. Because anything could have just came through and just any little meteor. This is why the meteors and anything like that gets to the planet, it burns down, because we have a protective, like we got a bulletproof vest on, right? We got a bulletproof vest on. Our planet has a bulletproof vest, right? So it's not just the atmosphere. We have a whole entire magnetosphere, right? And it was described in the coffin text. I'm not going to pull those out right now, but we will get to that. I'll pull out the, yeah, because neath, the net and that's a whole, that's a whole nother conversation. But for now, we right here in the Bible with it, right? So a lot of people ask the question, right? A lot of people ask the question, how come it is, right? How come it is that, and these are good questions, right? How come it is if the sun gives light to the planet, right? How come it's dark in between the sun and the planet? Because technically, in our mind, the way we taught in school is it should be just like a beam of light coming from the sun to whatever side of the planet is daytime, and that should be, but it's dark here, right? And then the other question is, if the sun is giving the heat, how come it's cold in between the sun and the earth, right? Those are questions. And we got to go back over to these waves and particles to really get an idea of this. But this acts like a lens. The magnetosphere also acts like a lens, right? It also acts like a lens. So the sun projects an electric field So back in the days, they used to say it was two suns, right? They used to say it was two suns because it's the sun in the sky and then it's the sun on the earth. And then goofy guys now that's trying to substantiate a flat earth theory, they would tell you, oh no, the sun got to be closer because it's right there and this and that and blah, blah, blah. What's happening is the sun is projecting an electric field here. Daytime is an electric field. It is a concentration of negative ions. That's what you're actually dealing with, a concentration of negative ions versus positive ions. So the side with daytime is, well, I don't got no more room to write, but we just put it over here. We just put it over here, right? Dark, cold, positive, right? Think of it like a disease. Yeah, because most times positive is good. But if you go take a test for a disease and that joker come back positive, you right? So yeah, so positive when it comes to ions is not good, right? Now, light, heat is negative ions. Okay, so you got a concentration of negative ions in the daytime. Nighttime, concentration of positive ions or more, right? As the weather changes, you get more. So it's winter time in Michigan. It's a lot of positive ion action up here. Right? On your body, because cold and hot is relative. Right? Cold and hot is relative. Unless something is dead, then it's totally cold because there's no electricity. There's no negative ions in it. Right? There's no gradient. There's no potential. Because electricity flows like water. It goes from the lowest potential to the highest potential. Right? And that basically means if you got a lot, then you're supposed to share with who got a little bit. That's where that is in the Bible. It's about sharing. So let me just, because this is one that messes with people's minds. When the guy says to Jesus, Master, how, you know, I don't know the exact phrase, but basically he's like, Jesus, how, you know, OG, how do I get into heaven? How do I get into the gates? You know, how do I inherit the kingdom of God? And he's like, oh, you straight. You know, because homeboy running his whole resume down like, yo, I've been getting busy. I'm the nicest guy on earth. I open up doors for old ladies. You know, he's running down the whole resume. Jesus is like, okay, well, listen, this is what you do. Take all that money you got and give it away. Homeboy was like, wait, what? No. I'm trying to get into heaven. You talking about giving away my money? No. I want to get into heaven. I don't want to give away my bread, though. Like, how do I? He was giving him the same advice that Bruce Lee said. When Bruce Lee said, you got to be like water. That's the same thing Jesus said. When Jesus said, give away your money, he was saying, be like water. Right? Water flows from low potential to high potential. What that means is low potential. Say, for instance, right now, my cup is not running over right now. My cup is, I need to get a refill. So my cup is almost empty. All you can hear in it is ice. So because most of the cup is empty, right? That means this cup has a high potential, right? High potential. It's not measuring what's in the cup. That's actualized already. Potential is the empty space. So high potential means a lot of empty space, basically, right? Low potential would be having a full cup. So if my cup was full, there'd be almost no potential because there's nothing you can add to this. It's already full, right? So if your cup is full, you're supposed to share that. You're supposed to find somebody else's cup that's empty and fill them up. That's what I do with the knowledge. While you at work and you doing your job working, right? You making money. I'm not making no money. I'm at the house. No, this is serious. I'm at the house. I ain't making no money. I'm studying. I'm taking the money y'all send me, right? The money y'all send me, and I'm buying books from all over the world, and I'm studying my ass off 10, 12 hours a day, right? So now, the money part, right? You got low potential because you getting the check. You got a few dollars, right? I got high potential. I ain't got no money. I need you to send me some of those potentials into my Cash App, right? But it's a trade-off because you at work. You ain't learning nothing at work, right? I'm here getting this knowledge. So I got low potential when it comes to knowledge. I'm filled up. By the time you see me go live, I'm filled up. And when you don't see me live for a few days, it's because I'm filling up. I'm loading up. So if you don't see me live for 3-4 days, believe you me, I'm filling up. I'm loading up. So by the time I go live, I'm full. Now I got to empty all this information into y'all. So y'all can have the information we exchanging, right? But also, so now I can empty my cup and then God could fill me back up. Yeah, God fills me back up. That's the cheat code. When you empty your cup out, he's going to fill it back up. So when Jesus told him to give away your money, in his mind, he could only see himself becoming poor. he didn't understand that when you pour into other people, it comes back to you. That's godly. That's the godly act. That's what the sacrifice is, right? So when God forms man of clay, right, he breathes the breath of life into man, and man becomes a living soul, because God literally shared some of his soul with man, right? God shared his soul with you. So now you're supposed to turn around and pay it forward. That's what we're supposed to be out here doing, right? Building. That's how you build, right? So my cup is high potential, though. I got to fix this high potential problem. I need to get something in this cup.
The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now to save us, to save our souls.
All right. So God hovered over the face of the waters. Let there be light. There's light. God saw the light. It was good. God divided the light from the darkness, called the light day, called the darkness night. And there was evening and there was morning, one day. God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. I think that's pretty easy, right? I think that's pretty easy. We know that we have the oceans, and we know that we have the clouds, and we know that we have the sky in between, right? We know we have the sky in between. So I'm not even gonna go back to the reference of somebody standing on the earth holding up the sky in place. I'm not even gonna mention that. Remember, I told y'all that was the early part that we ain't mentioning none of that. And God called the firmament heaven, and there was evening and there was morning and the second day. Right? It's the reason this happens twice. We're going to go through both of them. Right? Because the second time around is going to be a much more microscopic version with more detail. Right? And God said, let there be. God called the dry land. Oh, and God, where we at? God called the firmament heaven, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and gathered together of the waters. Now, this is, I think we need to just check this out real quick. Let me see if we can find this. This would be good. Right? This would be good. Because I think sometimes we might get the wrong idea about what we got going on. Right? But let me go to this specifically. So let's go to this. Ringwoodite is a high pressure phase magnesium silicate formed at high temperature and pressures of Earth's mantle between 525 and 660 kilometers depth. It may also contain, kilometers. It may also contain iron and hydrogen. It is polymorphous with olivine phase phosphaterite, which is a magnesium iron crystal. All right. Ringwoodite is notable for being able to contain hydroxide ions. These are oxygen and hydrogen atoms bound together within its structure. I need y'all to get this part right here. Right? Because then otherwise, the whole waters are above and the waters below and the woo-woo-woo, it might not fully, because we know we got liquid waters, right? We know we got the clouds. Many of us, some of us don't know, but many of us know that even the air has water in it, right? Even the air has water in it, right? It's phases. But what many people don't know is that a part of the solid rock of our planet is crystallized water. It's crystallized water. That's the magical part of this crystal, this type of rock is called ringwoodite. Ringwoodite can hold water in it. Yeah, like in cryostasis. Right? So you got waters, and waters. Right? You got waters, and then you got the light and the sound structuring those waters, preparing those waters to bring life out of those waters. Right? So God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas, and God saw that it was good. Now, again, I just want to take y'all back up here again, just for clarity. I'm going to take our time with it, so hopefully it sticks. We started this conversation off talking about waves and particles and observance. Waves, particles, observance, right? When it says God said something, right? God is saying something, but if nobody's around to hear it, it's the same as a thought, right? It's the same as a thought. And thoughts, I just told you, explained to you, helped you to see, right? Thoughts are electromagnetic waves, right? So God is saying it, right? God is thinking it, and then he's seeing it, right? He's thinking it and then seeing it, right? He's thinking it and seeing it. He's speaking it into existence. So this is not only speaking into existence, this is showing you how to speak things into existence. He's speaking it, then he's seeing it, right? Observing, right? Collapsing the waves. So that's why it's like, okay, God said, woo, woo, woo. Then God saw it. Like, perfection. Got it. That's exactly how I wanted that to be. Right? Observance. Observance is key. It doesn't become reality until it's observed. Right? So that's an important part of it. Right? So God said, let there be light, and there was light. This is thinking. God saw it. Right? Actualizing. Right? So that's why there's that dichotomy where it seems like it's repetitive. Right? That's the blueprint that he's following. Blueprint for you to be following. Right? So God called the dry land earth and gathered together the waters he called seas, and God saw that it was good. God observed, it was good, and God said, let the earth put forth grass, herb yielding seed, fruit tree bearing fruit after its own kind, where is the seed thereof upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, blah, 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 right? God said it, and then it was, and then what? God saw it, right? And it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, for days and years. Now, here, I just want to make a little stop for a second to do some blasphemy. I just want to add a little blasphemy in. I know that I'm making a lot of people upset today. So at this point, I'm just saying to myself, why stop here? All of the people that think astrology is witchcraft, I want y'all to relax. Right here is where God is talking about stars, right? God is talking about stars here, right? And the stars are for signs. Astrology is not witchcraft. I need y'all to relax. The stars are for, not even the stars, but the light from the stars. Right? The light from the stars. Maybe we might need to do our thing where we look at a few different versions. All right, let's go over here. Let's go down to 14. Right? Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, for days and years. All right? So in every version, we're not going to look at every version. We're going to look at the popular version. Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night. Let there be for signs and for seasons, for days and years, and let them be lights in the expanse of heavens to give light upon the earth. Right? So using the light from stars as signs, there's nothing's wrong with that, according to the Bible. Right? If it was only referring to the sun, there would be no plural. There would be no plural, right? All of them have plural, right? Let there be lights with an S, right? All of them are plural, right? And we know what those lights are. Those lights are other stars, right? Or stars in general, our sun as well as the other stars, right? We have stars there. Right, but that's specifically referring to the light from the stars. That's not really actually saying the stars. That's talking about the lights from the other stars, right? The light from the stars, rather, right? So I just wanted to add that little bit of blasphemy in. I know it's a lot of Bible folks that believe that astrology is witchcraft. Here's what I'm going to say on it. Astrology in and of itself is not witchcraft. What you use astrology for can be witchcraft or Satanism, right? But we can't just say because Satanists use something or because witches use something that makes it evil. Because if we actually take note and we look at if we take a list of Satanists, most Satanists were Catholic, were Christian, were imams. So if that was the case, the Bible, the Quran, all of our holy books would have to be thrown out, because literally Satanists are using the books in themselves. We wouldn't even have any of these questions about mixed up stuff in these books if it was not for Satanists using these books against God's children, right? So we can't say because Satanists use something that it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like the same knife we could pick up and stab somebody to death is a knife you can use as a tool to, work out in the garden or whatever. Like it's a tool. You know what I'm saying? You can use that knife to heal. You can use that knife to kill. You can use that knife to help feed your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a tool. It's how the tool is used that makes it a tool for evil or a tool for the light. You know what I'm saying? But right there, it clearly refers to lights coming through the firmament, lights coming through the heavens, right? So unless you know of any other lights coming through besides the starlight, that's just where we are. That's just where we are, right? So we just have to deal with that. It says it right there. I didn't author this book, right? It said, let them be for signs, right? And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so, right? And God made the two great lights, and the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. The great light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. Now, this is where I know y'all getting ready to say I'm crazy. This is where we're going to get heretical. This is where we're going to get super heretical. We're going to go crazy. Let me get this thing to clean this board off. I thought I had put it right here. Did y'all give the dog some water? No. Please give us some water. And then take her. Okay. I know we're getting ready to get crazy. I want y'all to love me still after this. I still want y'all to love me after this part. I still want y'all to love me after this. Matter of fact, let me ask y'all a question. Which existed first? The chicken or the egg? No, just kidding. Which one existed first? Eyeballs or pigments? Eyeballs or pigments? I want y'all to answer that question. Come on. Wake up. Y'all done went to sleep. It's only 6 o'clock. See, this how I know what y'all been eating. Y'all done ate all that sweet potato pie, and y'all done had them candy yams out of the can with all that corn syrup on there. Matter of fact, y'all probably bought sweet potato pies from the supermarket, which is loaded with corn syrup. Then y'all done had all them biscuits and then cornbread. We're not even going to talk about the cheese, but y'all done had all that sugar. And now y'all starting to get that. You're getting that look like, I'm going to just, And you know we love you, right? We're going to catch this on the replay. I'm getting ready to. I'm going to just take a quick one. Hey, look, you know when your eyes keep closing, you're like, no, I was thinking. I wasn't asleep. I was up. I was thinking about something. No, I'm up. I'm with you. I was just thinking about something. Y'all over there thinking about something right now. Yo, I'm dead. So, all right. So, pigments came first. Correct. Right? Pigments was developed before eyes was developed. Pigments was developed before eyes was developed. So I think this is an important part of the story, you know. And I think in the Bible it got left out. But I think it's one of the things that attracted me to Osiris, because his name literally Owusia, right? But I like the name Osiris. I know it's the Greek name and all this and all that. And trust me, I know too much about the Greeks, you know what I'm saying? But I like the fact that it's Osiris because it keeps some science intact, right? When the Greeks name All right, let's look at this for a second. Hold on, let's look at this for a second. I want y'all to see this. Otherwise, I'm just talking and it doesn't really make sense. Right? Look. Let's just look at any one of these. Right? Okay, so now when the Greeks take this, right? This is Osiris. This is Wusia or Sa. It just depends on your pronunciation, right? Now there's some other letters and some other spellings, but this is the basic one, right? This is the basic one. You can't get around the fact that Iris is a part of Osiris, right? And if you just say that, like, oh yeah, well, you know, Iris and Osiris, it looked like you could be trying to reach. You could be reaching. When you look and you see that there's a big eyeball on it, like there's a big eyeball right there. Yeah, it's a big eyeball. You kind of can't get away from, right, the fact that there's a big eyeball right there. Then Iris is in the name, right? Iris is in the name. And then also, that's, you know, window to the soul, but no, he's called the perfect black, right? So the perfect black reference to your iris, right? Like, to me, that was just like the way my mind worked. I just thought, like, I just start infomaniacing that up right there. I just start infomaniacing that right up. So I always like the Osiris with the big eyeball and the iris. You know what I'm saying? And the pigment and the fact that your eye is a visible part of your brain. You know what I'm saying? Your eye is a visible part of your brain. Yeah. Right? So the thing is, light, remember, only exists in your mind. Go ahead if you want to. Light only exists in your mind. Why y'all trying to send her in the back? Well, why you don't take Aubrey? Take Aubrey. How is y'all violating my daughters?
That's not violating, bro.
You're not even going. They be in here discriminating against the little kids in here, the big kids versus the little kids. And I be trying to explain to the quote unquote big kids, it wasn't but 5 minutes ago that y'all was the little kids and the big kids was violating y'all. Yeah. Tony and Amber used to stay violating Chase left and right. Now he's the big head honcho around here, and he violating the little ones. I'm like, bro, you used to be running in the room. Tell me, Tony did this. Blah blah blah. Anyway, light only exists in your mind. I know this is hard to get. You know what I'm saying? This is a hard concept for people to get. Like, no matter how many times I say it, like, this is a hard concept for people to get. Right? But light only exists in your mind. Magnetic waves, electromagnetic waves, mechanical waves, they're invisible. They're invisible. Even visible light is invisible. I know that sounds like, wait a minute, did he say even visible light is invisible? Yes. Unless do I keep switching? Let me put this down so I won't keep mixing these up. Here we go. 4 lines on the E. I'm tripping. Right? So if there's no pigment, right, to make the unseen seen, then you cannot see it. Light does not exist outside of your mind. It is just waves of energy. Period. The only difference on the whole electromagnetic scale thingy is it's just measuring how long the wave is. That's all that it's really doing. It's not like waves is really different colors. Like infrared's not red. Roy G. Biv is not a real thing. That's fake. Ultraviolet, there's no colors to any of these waves. None of them have colors. It is the pigment that you have that interprets them. Right? So this is why people that are born without any pigment in their eyes, they can't see. They are blind. Does that mean that the light is not hitting them? Does that mean that there's not light everywhere, that there's not energy outside their body? No. But they don't have the ability to create light in there. They can't see it. That's just like us. We can't see Wi-Fi because we haven't developed pigment to convert Wi-Fi into light in our brain. We haven't developed pigment to convert infrared into light in our brain. We haven't developed pigment to convert radio waves into light in our brain. Only a very slim amount of electromagnetic waves can we turn into light. Right? So, greater and lesser is referring to pigment. Greater and lesser is referring to pigment. Greater and lesser is referring to pigment. Rods and cones. Rods and cones. Because guess what? Pigment is not only required for you to process light, but pigment is also required for, drum roll please, oxygen. So you don't have the ability to sustain the environment. You don't have the ability to sustain the atmosphere for our type of life yet. Without this. So it's not just a matter of light. Remember, it's pigment that's going to turn light into what? Food. It's pigment that's going to turn light into sight. Right? It's pigment that's going to turn light into what else? Space. Light creates space. Light creates space. Light is what creates your dimensions, right? If there's no light and everything is pitch black, you still can walk around, but you don't know where you're walking around at. You don't know if you're walking into a wall or you're walking into a river. Light is going to allow you to see and distinguish one thing from another, right? So this is an important thing. And just to add a little extra piece of information, the I means to create, to make or create. That's what the I means, right? In the hieroglyphs that we're looking at, right? Outside of Osiris's name, right? So just looking at the name, right? You have the stairs or the throne, right? And you have the I, right? The I means to create or to make, right? And then we know also, we was talking earlier, right? The underworld of Osiris has what? 12 gates, the same way your heart does. Well, the I creates motion. So the I not only creates light, the I not only creates food, the I not only creates oxygen. Well, speaking specifically to pigment, right? But pigments in the eye also create the moving world, right? When we see a still image more than 12 times in a second, it begins to move, right? Now there's motion. That's how our brains register movement. Our brains register movement based on the frequency, right? The frequency of a given thing. And all atoms blink. All atoms blink, right? So we see something more than 12 times in a second, it's moving, right? Otherwise, it'd be like that, right? You wouldn't have fluidity. You wouldn't have movement. You have to see something at more than 12 frames per second, right? That's another way that the particles become. Anyway, all right. That's okay. We're still going to keep going. It's a video. You can watch it, debunk me later. Inky is crazy. He just made this up. That's fine. All right. So far, right? So far, we got, what do we got? We got the waters. We got dry land. We got grass. We got some plants, right? We got some plants. We got stars. We don't have no us yet, right? We don't have no us. We ain't got no animals, none of that, right? We don't have none of that yet, right? But now we got some lights here, right? Now you might say, well, wait a minute. I thought we had structured water for the cells. Of course, you got to have cells. You got to have cells to make plants. right? There's no plants, right? So you got to have the cells for plants, right? You got to have cells for plants. You got to have pigment there too. You got to have pigment there too, right? But it's a different type of pigment, right? We got to have a different type of pigment. So there's a difference between chlorophyll, right? And then there's a difference between opsins, right? Opsins and chlorophyll are different. They're all pigment, but they're different types of pigment, right? The pigments that process light are precursors to fully develop brains, right? Because these are brain cells in your eye. So they're much more complex than a plant pigment. Cell-wise anyway. Right? All right. So that's the fourth day. God said, let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let the fowl fly above the earth in the open firmament. And God created the great sea monsters and every living creature that creepeth, wherewith the waters swarmed after its kind, and every winged fowl after its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the fowl multiply in the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, and the fifth day. God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after its kind, cattle and creeping thing, and the beast. So now it's up. Now that we got complex cells with pigments, now we're ready to develop brains and more animals. Right? Now it's at another level. Right? And then we get here. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And God created man in his own image, and in the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. The only thing I could do is show a picture. That is the only thing I could do. Let me see. Otherwise, it gets crazy. Hold on, I'm looking for this picture. Some of y'all have heard me say this 1,000 times, so y'all already know what I'm getting ready to pull up, but I still have to show this picture.
The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now to save us, to save our souls.
Myron! Myron!
What?
What are you doing? What you doing?
What you talking about? What am I doing?
You reading them nasty books again, right, Myron?
Everybody read no nasty books, man. You scared the hell out of me. What you talking about, man? Well, I ain't did that in about 2 weeks. What
You
talking
called yesterday too. What you reading? What you reading?
You scared the goddamn book, man. Dr. Inky. I went on Amazon and got 3 Dr. Inky books because I'm reading about melatonin and biochemistry. Biochemistry.
What is, Myron, that's not even a, first of all, it's not melatonin and whatever it is that you just said. It's melanin and biochemistry. You can't even pronounce the word, so how you reading? How you reading, Myron?
I'm not looking at the pictures. I know I look at the pictures. I got the books right here. I'm looking at the pictures. You know, this ain't nothing nasty about this. So what you talking about? I got all the books right here. What you talking about?
Myron, you don't even know how to read. Every time we get mail, you bring it to me. You think I don't know that?
I was hooked on Phoenix. Now, what you talking about? I was hooked on Phoenix, so I know how to read.
As of when? As of when? Because first of all, hooked on phonics, I believe it's for kids. There's no such thing as hooked on Phoenix. And if I recall, you're the same person that thought reindeer was pronounced reender, and you're the same person that thought pigeon was pronounced piggion. So it makes sense that you went to hooked on Phoenix.
Man, such a dumbass.
No,
you always trying to say somebody can't read. I know exactly what I'm talking about, man. I'm reading the books. I got the book. I got the goddamn receipt right here. I got the goddamn receipt right here for the books. What you talking about?
Well, you need to return them for somebody who know how to read them. And I still don't. It's probably all type of stuff in the inside of the books, Myron. That's how sneaky you are. Give me the books. Give me the books, Myron.
Hell no.
Give me the books, Myron.
Amazon.
Give me the books, Myron.
I'm not giving you none. I got these books off Amazon. I'm not giving you the books. Ain't that no?
Yeah, well, bye. Bye.
I've been in this game for years. You're animals to the shit. Animal, baby.
The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now to save us, to save our souls.
Okay, I think, hold on. Man, hold up. I can't find this picture. And I'm thinking it's in this book somewhere. Oh, there we go. Is that? No, that's not it. What are y'all doing? Yo, you're fighting in the room. What are y'all doing?
My Myron!
Dude, man!
Myron!
What?
What are you doing? What you doing?
What you talking about? What am I doing?
You reading them nasty books again, right, Myron?
Man, nobody read no nasty books, man. You scared the hell out of me. What you talking about, man? Wait, I ain't did that in about 2 weeks. What
You
talking
called yesterday too. What you reading? What you reading?
You scared the goddamn book, man. Dr. Inky. I went on Amazon and got 3 Dr. Inky books because I'm reading about melatonin and biochemistry. Biochemistry.
What is, Myron, that's not even a, first of all, it's not melatonin and whatever it is that you just said. It's melanin and biochemistry. You can't even pronounce the word, so how you reading? How you reading, Myron?
I'm not looking at the pictures. I know I look at the pictures. I got the books right here. I'm looking at the pictures. You know, this ain't nothing nasty about this. So what you talking about? I got all the books right here. What you talking about?
Myron, you don't even know how to read. Every time we get mail, you bring it to me. You think I don't know that?
I was hooked on Phoenix. Now, what you talking about? I was hooked on Phoenix, so I know how to read.
As of when? As of when? Because first of all, hooked on phonics, I believe it's for kids. There's no such thing as hooked on Phoenix. And if I recall, you're the same person that thought reindeer was pronounced reender, and you're the same person that thought pigeon was pronounced piggion. So it makes sense that you went to hooked on Phoenix.
Man, such a dumbass.
No,
you always trying to say somebody can't read. I know exactly what I'm talking about, man. I'm reading the books. I got the book. I got the goddamn receipt right here. I got the goddamn receipt right here for the books. What you talking about?
Well, you need to return them for somebody who know how to read them. And I still don't. It's probably all type of stuff in the inside of the books, Myron. That's how sneaky you are. Give me the books. Give me the books, Myron.
Hell no.
Give me the books, Myron.
Amazon.
Give me the books, Myron.
I'm not giving you. No, I got these books off Amazon. I'm not giving you the books. Ain't that no?
Yeah, well, bye. Bye.
I've been in this game. Yeah. You animals to the animal, baby.
The gods have blessed us. We must act now. We must act now to save us, to save our souls.
Chemiluminescence is sound becoming light and life. You just watched the proof. Now get the book and see how this relates to your immune system and disease. God is music. Go to Amazon now.
Most people assume the Bible has a lot to say
Oh,
about
hell
how
no.
messed
That was crazy. Well, actually, we let that
up humans are, and that's true. It's also true that the Bible's vocabulary about this topic sounds odd to modern people, using words like sin, iniquity, or transgression. And so the Bible's perspective on the human condition is often ignored or treated as ancient and backwards. This is really unfortunate, because through these words, the biblical authors are offering us a deeply profound diagnosis of human nature. Iniquity describes behavior that's crooked, while transgression refers to breaking trust. And sin, this is actually the most common of these bad words in the Bible, so let's focus on it for a few minutes. Sin translates the Hebrew word chata and the Greek word hamartia. The most basic meaning of sin isn't religious at all. Chata simply means to fail or miss the goal. Like when the Israelite tribe of Benjamin trained a small army of slingshot experts, they could sling a stone at a hair and not
let him cook.
that is, fail or miss. Or there's a biblical proverb that warns against making hasty decisions because you're likely to chata your way, miss your destination. So in the Bible, sin is a failure to fulfill a goal. But what's the goal? Well, on page 1 of the Bible, we learn that every human is an image of God, a sacred being who represents the Creator and is worthy of respect. And so in this way of seeing the world, sin is a failure to love God and others by not treating them with the honor they deserve. You can see this idea in the famous code of conduct given to the Israelites, the 10 Commandments.
Yo, they hold up. They kind of cooking. They kind of cooking a little bit with this, right? Because they kind of hold up. I'm gonna leave that right there. I wish that I could find that. I should be able to find that video so I could mess with that video. I would like to be able to move that video around, like fast forward it, rewind it. So he said every person created in the image of God. And I was looking for a particular slide. Right? I was looking for a particular slide, but we're going to have to live with this. We're going to have to live with this. Right? These are 3 different perspectives. Three different perspectives on the same thing. And this is the light. Now, don't look at the image. The image is portraying the energy movement within a cell, because the cell is the blueprint for creation. The cell itself is the blueprint for creation, not the person or the cow or the dog or the cat or the mouse. So in our own image is the cell. Your cells that build up your body is the image of God. That is the container of the light, the electromagnetic waves, the mechanical waves, your cells. And so we have a bunch of different, these are different time periods too, obviously, because this is an ancient depiction, right? This is an ancient depiction. And these are 2 different modern depictions. These are 2 different modern depictions, right? But if you notice, the modern depictions are not far off from the ancient depiction, right? And this is modeling energy, the energy movement of life at the cellular level, the person, the animal level, and the planetary level and the stellar level, right? And we already went through the passage where it talks about quantum entanglement, God's heart and man's heart. God's heart and man's heart. So if we go back to the passage, right? If we go back to the passage, it's also going to explain the Russian doll theory, right? God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them, right? So you have in twice. In. Our sperm is created in us. Inside. In, as in inside. So on one level, he's talking about a copy, right? But on another level, he's talking about inside. Right? We are in the body of God. We are in the body of Christ. Our cells are within us. Right? And so on and so forth. Down till we get to the waves and the particles. Or past the particles. Don't you do that. Thank you. Okay, my house is getting ready to come apart. We got to speed this up. We got to speed this up. We got to speed this up, right? And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that creepeth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every... Now, dominion over the fish, the sea, the fowl of the air, and everything. This is again talking about cellular life. Cellular life has dominion over the earth. Cellular life has dominion. Okay, yeah. The holidays is taking over. The holidays is taking over. But bacteria dominate this planet. Not only do bacteria, but all of the algae, the phytoplankton, the complex life, the simple life, cells still dominate this planet. And we have a very specific type of cell line. We have a very specific type of cell line. And our cell line gives us the ability to participate in creation. And that ability to participate in creation is what allows us to dominate over the other creatures on the planet. The other teams of cells. That's what your body is a team of cells. Right? So I've given you every herb yielding seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree which is in that fruit yielding seed. It should be food for you. And every beast of the earth, and every fowl, and every creeping thing upon the earth, where in there is a living soul. I have given every green herb for food, and it was so. And God said everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. And then God had to take a nap. Or maybe God had some wild kids running around.